You look at your gifts. Each one of us has something that comes along that's easy. Some people find it like writing lyrics. I remember when I was in sixth grade, I would write little poems. And they were corny. I think about it now. But there were that was something that was telling me that I would be using that in the future. And then I could not go next to a piano without playing it. I mean, I actually knew by the age of 5 that I wanted to do something in music. And then my family pushed me to go into tennis, it's a sport. And my dad was into that, so I began playing a lot of tennis, and it was like, wow, 6 hours of tennis, and I got to be good at it. And then by the age of 18, I was already competing in tournaments, and I was about to come and play the last tournament to go to the States, and I was in Puerto Rico back then. I'm originally from Puerto Rico. And boom, accident happened, motorcycle accident. That career went down the drain, so I went to my dad, Dad, I want to do something with my music. And my dad being a pharma leader, he didn't really think much about being in the music business. He thought it was too risky. We're going to be talking about that later on. So to make a long story short, I went into music, Berkeley. I used that accident as a way to push my dad and tell him, I want to go to Berkeley. So when I go to Berkeley, the first thing that happened to me is that I hear the talent there. And I'm thinking, oh my God, how am I gonna do this? I cannot do this. So I call my mom and say, Mom, I can't do this. And my mom, being the visionary she goes, Lannie, we spent a lot of money to get you there. Handle it. Boom! Hang up the phone. Are you kidding me? And then I'm thinking, okay, so there was one way to do it going forward. So, finding your voice. You gotta choose what you're gonna do. You gotta choose what instrument you're gonna go and do it through, or what kind of skill you're gonna do it. You can be skillful in something and not have the gift for that. It doesn't mean that you cannot make money with the skill. It just means that when the money's not there, it's just gonna feel like a job. See, when you love it, it just feels like you're getting paid for what you love. Can you guys hear me down there? Is it okay?
Yeah.
It's like you're looking at me and I'm thinking, wow. So anyways, once you choose that venue, that instrument, that songwriting, that arranging or whatever, career, that vehicle to express your most inner self, then you need to do a quest. You gotta go on a quest and study other people that have done that. One of the things that I did while I was studying at Berkeley was listening to all these musicians doing these amazing things. But a decision I made was, I was not gonna be like them. I was gonna be me, being able to use what they were doing and modifying it to represent what I was. Not what they were, but what I was. So I did listen to Keith Jarrett, I listened to Herbie Hancock, I listened to Chick Corea, I listened to a pianist that was back then, Tay from Brazil. I listened to Bill Evans, naming a few. But I used my Latin heritage to be expressed through everything I did. And then since I used to listen to a lot of Earth, Wind, and Fire, I added that also into that. So when I was growing up, my dad used to have all these records from Henry Mancini, Perfect Faith Orchestra, Mantovani's Orchestra. So when you listen to me perform and play the piano, I have all those influences. But the way I combine them actually represent present how I feel. So, once you create that you know who you are and you're expressing it through your instrument, then you become one with that voice. And people will know when you're performing that is you. And that's the main thing. See, today, our days, when I hear productions, I hear people producing, and they all sound the same. Why is that? Because they're going at it from the wrong perspective. They're going at it from the money part of it. And they think that doing what is trendy, it's money rewarding all the time. But what happens with that? You sound just like the rest. So make sure that once you choose your instrument and you have your voice selected, that you're always one true with that voice and that style that you're going to create. You take all these styles and you make one of your own, and you're going to express your emotions through that. Now, let's say that you have now achieved all that. You know what you are, you know how you want to do it, you know that you have the skill. Once you choose that, you have to put dedication, practice to excel. You don't want to be expecting to get to the other side of the river without going across it. No one's going to fly you over it. You have to go through it. You have to train. I was telling my friend Douglas, who by the way used to be my roommate when I was in Berkeley. I don't know if he told you that, but we were. And we went to school together for about a year, right? Yeah. Back then, I was hitting the piano anywhere from 2 to 4 or 6 hours a day. I still do. I never stop. Because when opportunity knocks, you need to be ready. It's going to happen, boom. You need to be able to deliver. When you're in your instrument, you never know who's listening. I met my wife when I was performing. And all she got from me that day was, wow. And we've been together now for what, 25? Yeah. And it's been great because she's my greatest fan, and she has been an incredible tool in the marketing of my voice to the world.
I paid him to say that.
Yeah, you're gonna get the check soon. The thing here is that you have to go on a process of self-discovery to find out what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are, and focus on those strengths and develop them. I knew that my weakness was that sometimes I was too temperamental, because of the amount of time that I put on my life to achieve my goals. I was like maybe a little bit rough edge because I wasn't around people much. But then, there she was. She was the front, I was in the back. And then through her I learned to be a little bit more likable. And now, I enjoy it. I enjoy being here with you. I mean, you have no idea how being here with you blesses me. I think that we all have a purpose, and that purpose is to help others achieve their purpose. Therefore, they go and help others achieve it. It's like a chain thing to a better world. It sounds like a commercial, but it does. That's the purpose. So, self-discovery. I have some notes here that I wrote, so let me look here. Yes. Self-discovery, to know what it is that you want to say through your voice, through your instrument. What do you want to sing about? What do you want to play? What genre? What style? What message? hopefully a good message. We need good messages. The world is filled with negative messages. Bless you. And and then, as far as the inspiration, find the artist that you would like to be like. See what they've done. Study their careers. It's all a process of learning. You learn everything you can so you can push it forward and help others achieve that with the information that you have. Influences. My influences, like I mentioned, Chicory and all that, it helped me to see everything I didn't want to do and to just choose and pick what I wanted from each one of them and how to combine it to make it commercial. One of the things that choosing your voice should have, it should satisfy a need. You're not gonna have a voice of tomatoes if what they're looking for is peanuts. You gotta find some kind of in the middle kind of thing. If people are looking for rock, you're not gonna give them ballads, unless they're rock ballads, you know. It has to be commercial pleasing. Commercial means actually that people want. If you're doing what people want to hear or what people need, you're always going to be in a position of higher commercial value. As you go and develop your voice, practice is going to be of the essence. You have to sit down in your instrument, on your writing skills, work them and work them. If you sing, vocalizing, make that part of your daily life. That's your instrument. That's your source of income. Now, go into the income part. You can make income in music. You can make a living in music. You can make a good living in music. But there's a very important factor that you need to keep in mind. And this is that you have to diversify. When I was younger, long time ago, I used to play in hotels and do lounges and restaurants and stuff like that. And I remember my very first lesson that I learned was when I worked at this hotel in Puerto Rico, 6 nights a week. And I was like, wow, 6 nights a week. But then that season ended and I had 0. And I was broke. And then I figured, this is not working out. I can't do 6 days in one place. I need to do 1 day or 2 days in one place and 2 days in another place and 2 days in another place. So very seldom they're gonna all close at the same time. And then I need to use other skills that I have. So I would say that the reason I'm still here today working in music was because I didn't really force the issue of me being a pianist and just making a living off the piano as an instrument. I diversified. If I could sing in recordings, I will go there and sing vocals in recordings. If I could do arrangements for a band, I would do arrangements for the band. It always worked out so that when there were no gigs happening, I was making the money through the arranging or the songwriting. So, the more skills that you develop, the more venues that you have for your voice to be heard. And it will be the same voice because it's the same you who is being reflected through that voice. So, when I hear, Mesa brought it up a few times ago, that she knew my arrangements. because they have this thing. And then it was her who actually made me realize, wow, yeah, I do that there. Oh, look, I'm doing it here too. So basically, that identity is what people would pay money for once you go to the next step. The next step will be letting people know that you have that. So, let's say, for example, this gentleman here with the orange jacket. Do you play an instrument? Yeah? Let's say he was a pianist. Nobody in the world knows he's a pianist. He could be the greatest pianist. But then you need to let the world know that you're the best pianist. So you begin doing performances. At first, you might have to do them for free. But you don't look at them like for free. You look at them like a marketing tool. You go, they're going to know me. And then every gig you do, you go to your cards. You know, every time I would play in a wedding in Puerto Rico, the first thing I would do, because my mom, who was my manager when I was younger, said, Lannie, leave your business cards on top of every table. So I would go there and put a card on every table. And then when I played and left, they would take the card. And from there, 10 or 15 more weddings or whatever would come my way. So the point is, that voice that needs to be heard, you need to promote it. It needs to be true to who you are. People should be able to identify it when they hear it. You know when a dog is barking because you know what a dog sounds like. Same way, when they hear your voice, they should know, oh, that's Alec, that's Douglas, Nasa, that's Lannie. Raymond? What was your name? Jimmy. Yes, I don't know your name. What's your name? Mike. That's Mike playing the piano right there. Maybe I'm prophesying to you. So anyways, yeah, consistency, practice. That's what's for that. Let me check here. Yeah. As artists, with our voice, one of the things that we find the hardest to deal with is criticism. It hurts. Mm-hmm. I've had clients, to me, it has been like a masterpiece. And I put a piano there and say, Lannie, I don't hear a piano, I hear a violin there. Are you kidding me? I mean, you hear what? A violin? Yeah, because it's softer in here. Dude. So, there we go to the monetizing part. Bruce Lee said once that we need to be like water. Remember that? Yeah. So we need to adapt. We cannot always please everybody. But we can certainly try. So basically, when you're an artist, you have to be open for criticism. There's going to be positive, there's going to be negative. I remember there was a time that I was performing in Puerto Rico, and I announced a song, and I said the wrong first name because it just, I don't remember. I didn't remember then. I said it wrong. And there it was in the press the next day, at large, by the same promoter that we had hired. And he goes, I remember now, Consuelo Velázquez for Bésame Mucho. And I said some other name. And the thing is that it bothered me. It bothered me because I had paid him to be there for me, not against me. And then because I made that mistake. But it was well taken. He was right. I should have known the name of the composer if I was going to be performing that song. And it was not right of me. So we have to be open to criticism. The artists are most of the time going to be hired by someone. They're going to be performing for someone. I'm here for someone. Okay? So, if someone comes to me now and says, Lannie, that's up, don't do that anymore. Okay, I'll say, okay. Where did it stop? Okay, there, here. You lost me in the first two words. Like, okay, really? Okay. So I'm going to slow it down the next time. So we need to be open to criticism, as good or bad as it is, and we should be open to improve on that criticism and to listen, because the greater audience that you're going to ever have is the one that is listening to you and the ones that are following you. That's why when you see sometimes that the artists like Christina Aguilera, for example, when she changed her style and all that, the fans were angry. That's why sometimes you watch a soap opera, they kill the main character. No, we can't kill the character, no. And you want to do that and all upset. And the people that are doing the soap opera are actually listening to the fans. And they'll give the majority what they want. Of course, because that's part of monetizing. You gotta satisfy the market. The market comes first when you are trying to make a living of it. It doesn't mean that you're gonna be against your rooted voice, but you're gonna adjust the voice to the point where it is profitable for them, acceptable to them, and profitable for you. Now, let me put my glasses on because I can hardly see this. Once you have that, you have developed your whole package and you have what you're going to be doing. You need to, like I was saying with him, you need to market it so that people know that you're doing that. That's what you do. And today we have a lot of ways to promote who you are and what you do. Google, believe it or not, Facebook, Instagram, hey, you name it. There are ways that you can promote your art, your ability through this. You can open your own account. You can have those accounts linked to your bank account, and there it goes. Every time you sell something, boom, to your account. I remember when I started, there was TuneCore only back in the day. And you know what? It worked. I was making money with TuneCore. It's when the others came out that it really affected the market. Now, now I'm in, what is it, Rhapsody, Spotify, and Napster, and all that. And that's only paying me cents every time they do the. So, but then everybody knows me because I'm there. So it's like a catch-22. But I was telling Lisa, Lisa, I already know. So why don't we just put it in TuneCore only?
No, the distribution, that's the distribution.
Yeah, the distribution of it. Because at the end of the day, you wanted to pay your bills, and then you're putting out 2,000 streams and you're only getting $2 or $20. You kidding me? So anyway, when you're an artist, people will follow you. People will imitate you. People look at you as a way to their future. You need to give the right information out so that their future is also secure. Whatever you do, always think about this. How are my actions going to affect the others around me in a positive way so that when I do it, they prosper too? It's very important also that once you have achieved your voice and found your voice and promoted your voice and made money with your voice, that you protect it. That's where you're going. Any material that you're putting out, you copyright it. You make sure that it's copywritten. The Library of Congress does that. It costs $75 or something like that or more. Yeah, they keep increasing that. And but the truth of the matter is that you can say that any material is yours, and you can go to court, and it's not going to be till they see that record in the Library of Congress that says that it's yours, that you're going to have a case. It's always hearsay when you don't have that. So in conclusion, look inside of each of you guys and find that thing that comes to you natural. Whatever ability it is. I'm just saying, I have people that are like multi-gifted, that they'll be able to do several instruments and there will be masters at it. Not only that, not only instruments, everything. I mean, it's like, they do everything. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? How can you have so much gift on you? But it's the truth. And they have exploited all of them. So, let's say that you play the piano and you sing. Exploit the two of them. Make money with the two of them. If you play the piano and you sing, you can probably write songs, because you wouldn't get the gift of voice in piano and not be able to write songs. Maybe you never tried it. Try it. Study that possibility. Read about songwriting. It's intellectual. When you're preparing yourself for something, you have to get as much as information as you can for that something so that you can actually apply it and become skillful at it. I never studied fully, well, I did study, but I didn't have a degree in production. But if you think about it, I did, because I read so much about it and did so much trial and error through my life after I took some courses in Full Sail. That, I mean, I went to Full Sail when it was beginning, the very beginning. I took a 6-month course and I hated it because I at that point I really didn't know about computer much. So I was like, wow, I need to work with a computer, and it was like a science for me. But now it's like a daily thing. So those pains that you're gonna feel at the beginning will be meaningless once you see yourselves profiting from your gift. I have no regrets. Well, yes, one regret, that I didn't do earlier, that I wouldn't start in it earlier, that I was doing gigs for others before I began doing it for myself so I could help others. Anyways, in conclusion, like I was saying, after you find that voice, make sure that you get the right influence for what you want to do, that you listen to it, that you put it into your main schedule to develop the skills that are going to represent that voice. Listening to the right artists that are going to create your own self-image of that voice. And that you're going to market it, and that you're going to be happy because you're going to be doing what you were made to be. And that's it for me today.